Okay, babies. I've been busy with the Krav squad the last few weeks, so fill me in. Jack, what's the status of them 2 cases I gave you to work?
In the first one, it turns out her husband wasn't cheating on her. He just reserved that motel room so he could secretly meet with his long-lost son from a previous marriage. And in the second one, it turns out that his uncle is his father, and also that his father is one of the most frequent posters on a neo-Nazi message board.
Which father? His father or his uncle father?
His uncle father is his father, you brick.
And is he the one who's the Nazi?
No, it's the other one.
Once I confirmed that it was him posting to the Nazi message board, I sent the standard notification emails to his employer and his co-workers.
Nice job, baby.
Thank you. I also got us a possible lead on another case.
Do tell.
One of the Nazi Uncle Father's co-workers responded to my email and said she suspects one of the teachers at her daughter's school might be a member of the SFSF.
The Society of Fair-Skinned Fellows? The fraternal organization that says they ain't Nazis, even though they definitely are?
Correct.
We all know who the bloody SFSF is. Why'd you spell it out like that?
Sometimes I just like to hear myself talk, baby.
Anyway, she and a few other parents of kids at that school might be interested in hiring us to investigate if this teacher actually is in the SFSF. I sent you her number this morning. You should call her.
Roger, baby. Anything else?
We got a complaint from the father of one of your Krav Maga students.
They crying about our prices again? I'll tell this one what I'll tell all the rest of them. Krav Maga lessons are just like Mexican food. You can find them cheap, but they won't be worth a shit.
It's not the price. Apparently the student came to you about some trouble she was having in school, and you told her that if she was being bullied, the best thing to do would be to break the bully's nose and make an example of them.
Good advice. Sounds like something I'd say.
Right. Except in this case, the bully was the girl's vice principal, and he wasn't bullying her. He was keeping her in after-school detention for being late every day for 2 weeks straight.
So, did she break his nose or what?
Yes. And now the vice principal is considering whether or not to charge her with assault.
A few months in juvie might do her good, baby. She sounds like kind of a troublemaker. What was she missing all that school for anyway?
She has a boyfriend who dropped out last year. She's been spending time with him when she should have been in school.
All right. Say no more, baby. I got this shit all figured out.
Figured out in a way that won't ruin this girl's life and which will also avoid any criminal liability on behalf of yourself or our company?
Indubitably, baby. You just tell me where I can find this boyfriend of hers. I'll go have a little dog-to-man talk with him, tell him to leave this girl alone so she can go back to school. Then I'll talk to the vice principal and blame everything on the boyfriend. Problem solved, and none of our fingerprints are on any of it.
Except for the fact that the girl broke her vice principal's nose with the move she learned from you.
Teaching people self-defense ain't no crime, baby. It's a tough world out there. Our children need to know how to protect themselves.
And you're sure the vice principal will buy that?
What did I just say? Of course I'm sure. LeVar Burton is going to appear in the Picard series as Geordi, but in the show, Geordi is married to Counselor Troy.
But Riker is married to Counselor Troy.
I know, but the Picard show picks up years later. They must have gotten divorced. Or maybe not. Maybe Riker, Troy, and Geordi are in a 3-person polycule. But is it a V or a triangle?
Either way, it sounds a little far-fetched.
Well, it comes from a reliable source.
Meaning your new friend Jessica.
Yes.
The psychic.
All right, look, I know you're skeptical. I was skeptical at first too, but Jessica proved to me that her powers are genuine.
And how did she do that again?
She described the plot of Shazam in detail, completely accurately, having only seen the trailer.
And when did she make this prediction? Last year sometime?
No, this was just like a week ago.
That movie came out in April. It's been streaming on demand for a couple of weeks now.
But she hasn't seen it. All she's seen is the trailer.
So she says.
Why would she lie about whether or not she's seen a movie?
To convince you she's a psychic.
No, dude, I can tell when someone's lying to me. She hadn't even seen the trailer before I showed it to her on my phone.
So she said. Surely she must have done more to prove that she was psychic than describe the plot of a movie she claims she didn't see.
Okay, if you had been there, it would have convinced you too. She didn't just describe the plot of a movie. It was a whole demonstration.
What else did she do?
She could tell I was skeptical, right? So she says to me, I can describe the plot of any film based solely on the trailer. So I say to her, prove it. So she says to me, what's your name? So I say, Steve. She says, okay, Steve starts with an S. So pick a film that came out this year that starts with an S. And I say, Shazam. She says, okay, perfect. I haven't seen that one. let's watch the trailer. So I find the trailer on my phone, we watch it, and then she proceeds to describe the plot of Shazam, beat for beat, 100% correctly. And I even said when she was done, you forgot the post-credit scene, and then she describes both the mid-credit scene with Dr. Sivana in jail and the post-credit scene with Shazam and Freddy talking about the fish. I didn't even tell her there was a mid-credit scene.
All right, let's think about this rationally. What is more likely? That Jessica is really psychic, able to somehow see into the future, possessed of an ability that cannot be explained or quantified, and which science tells us is impossible, or that Jessica had already seen Shazam and just told you she hadn't?
You're forgetting that I picked Shazam. She didn't.
True, but she limited your options before you chose. She said it had to be a film from this year that began with S. That narrows it down.
That might work if we assume she's seen every movie that came out this year that starts with an S. But she had to ask me my name. She didn't know it started with an S. What if my name was Mark? Would you just brush that off because she must have seen all the movies that start with an M this year?
Assuming she was telling the truth about not knowing your name already.
Of course, she must have been lying about that too.
Just because she went straight from learning your name to asking you to pick a movie that starts with the same letter doesn't mean she would have done the same thing with someone of a different name. Let's say your name was Mark, but she hasn't seen very many movies this year that start with an M. So instead of that, she could have said, "Hi Mark, nice to meet you. I'm Jessica. Do you have any siblings?" And you would say, "Yes, I have one brother." And she would say, "Are you the older brother?" And it would be a guess, but in your case, she'd be right. You are the older brother, which would impress you without risking anything for her, because she phrased it as a question, not as a prediction. So if she got it wrong, you wouldn't count it against her. So then she could say, "Okay, you're the older brother, the firstborn. So why don't you choose a movie from the first month of the year, January?" And that's just one possibility. By asking different questions depending on your answers, she could guide you toward any category of movie she wanted, and it would seem to you like you were the one making the choice.
That sounds plausible. But you're forgetting one thing. There's still the possibility I could choose a movie she hasn't seen.
I'm sure she could handle that.
How could she handle it if she's not really psychic? It would give away her whole scam.
Let me show you how. I'll be Jessica. Name a movie that starts with an S.
Spider-Man Far From Home.
Oh, I've seen that one already. Try to pick another one that I haven't seen.
I don't get it. You were going to show me what she would do if she hadn't seen the movie.
Right? She can't admit to you that she hasn't seen the movie, but if she tells you she has seen it, you'll have to pick another one because the whole point of her demonstration is that she's describing movies she supposedly hasn't seen. If she had to, she could do that over and over until you finally named a movie she had seen.
That's really manipulative. I don't think Jessica would do that.
This Jessica sounds like my kind of human. One who exploits the other humans.
Hi, Millicent.
Millicent, you don't think it's wrong to take advantage of other people's gullibility?
Why? For humans, it seems to be an inexhaustible resource.
Maybe. But that doesn't make it right for an unscrupulous person to profit from someone's gullibility.
The way I see it, this is the system humans have chosen for themselves, so let them live with it. We Huskies have adopted a more enlightened model, where everyone's basic needs are met, and there is no economic incentive for anyone to exploit anyone else. If humans want to live in a world where making money is the most important thing, they shouldn't get upset when one of them figures out a way to do it at someone else's expense.
Oh my god, it never occurred to me until now. You haven't given Jessica any money, have you?
I mean, I didn't pay for the Shazam prediction because we were just talking.
I sense that there's a but coming.
Well, you didn't expect her to give me all that information about the Picard series for free, did you?
How much?
$100, but...
$100?
As a wise Husky once said, a human and his money are soon parted.
It's not a problem. I can afford it. I haven't even spent my VidCon grant yet. Besides, if her predictions turn out to be true, then she's definitely psychic, and I chose to pay her, so it's not like I can say I got ripped off.
And if her predictions turn out to not be true?
Then she promised me half my money back.
If she's wrong, she still makes $50?
It would hardly be fair of her to keep it all, now would it? Even psychics aren't perfect.
It doesn't concern me that psychics aren't perfect. It concerns me that psychics aren't psychics.
Ooh, good one.
Thank you.
Well, I think she is a psychic, and you haven't been able to prove to me that she isn't one.
I might know somebody who can.
So what the hell are we waiting for?
Toby Benson went to talk to the boyfriend of the girl who broke her vice principal's nose. When he gets back, he needs to call the woman who thinks her daughter's teacher might be in the SFSF. But I wouldn't say I'm waiting for that. I've been over here working the whole time he's been gone.
Right. So have I. Well, as I'm free at the moment, maybe I'll just give her a call myself.
She did specifically ask to speak to Toby Benson. And if Toby Benson doesn't call her for some reason, handling new clients is usually my...
Perfect. If the call starts to go downhill, you're here, you can jump on. Oh, look, he's written her number on the blotter. Is this her? Margaret V. Pauline?
That's her.
Right then. This should only take a second.
I'll start updating my resume.
Hello. Will this be Margaret? Well, put Margaret on the phone, would you? Well, then I'll wait. What does he think I'm going to do? Call back? I've called now. This is it.
The nerve of some people.
Here we go. Hello, would this be Margaret? Right then. This is Jack McPherson with Toby Benson Investigations, baby. I'm told you might have a job for us. Toby Benson is currently out on another case, but I didn't want you to have to wait any longer. As I am the agency's chief investigator, I thought we could go ahead and do some business.
Chief investigator?
Quiet. So tell me why you think this teacher might be a Nazi. Nazi, SFSF, what's the bloody difference?
Who's he talking to, baby?
Margaret Pauline, the woman I told you about who thinks the teacher might be a white supremacist.
I was going to call her when I got back.
I know, I think Jack was just bored.
He could have hit the streets if he was bored. He's got open cases.
And he is our chief investigator, after all.
What?
I'll tell you later. How'd things go with the boyfriend?
Good enough that we can start referring to him as the ex-boyfriend.
Good, but otherwise he's okay.
What do you mean?
He's still, up and walking around.
God damn it, baby, I didn't kill him.
I just like to check.
I explained the situation to him like I would have to any adult. I told him that him and his girlfriend are still young, that he's fucking her shit up by keeping her out of school, that she needs to finish her education, and if he's smart, that's what he'll do too.
That sounds reasonable.
And just to make sure he got the message, I told him if I ever caught him sniffing around our girl again, I would kill him. Again, like I would have to any adult.
We should be fine as long as he didn't record you making that threat.
No, he didn't, baby. I broke his phone as soon as I found him.
That is more swastika tattoos than you would expect to see. Sounds like you've got a case. Here's what I say we do. I'll start following this fella around, see if I can catch him consorting with these fair-skinned fellas of his. Meanwhile, we'll see if we can nail him posting on one of their Nazi message boards or whatever. That'll be a job for our computer-savvy rabbit.
I think he means me.
What then? Well, if we confirm that he is part of the SFSF, then we'll notify the school of his activities. After that, it's up to them, isn't it? What else could we do? I suppose we could kneecap him if you like.
Jack, not on the phone, baby.
Hypothetically speaking, if kneecapping was a service we offered, which, for the purposes of this call, it is not. Right then, we're on the case. I'll be in touch. Now, what was so bloody hard about that?
I never doubted you for a second.
And I didn't have time to doubt you because I had no idea what the fuck was going on. Now, don't you think you should get started on this new case?
What's the hurry?
I don't know, but how about you hurry your furry ass back to your own desk?
You big-feeling bastard.
TBIB? Sure, just a second. It's Stuffy for you.
Stuffy, what's up, baby?
Hi, Toby Benson. Do you have time to take on a new case?
Always, baby.
Good, because I've got one for you.
So, long story short, your psychic is full of shit, baby.
For real? Oh, man. What'd you find out?
I tracked down roughly 24 of her previous clients. All of them told stories similar to yours, how she demonstrated an uncanny ability to describe the plots of films she supposedly hadn't seen.
Right.
But her abilities only seemed to work for films that had already been widely available for some time, when she made predictions for projects that hadn't yet been released.
Like she did for the Picard series.
Right. In those cases, her accuracy dropped significantly.
She gives people the accurate predictions for free to bait the hook, then charges up front for the one she knows she's going to get wrong.
In other words, she's a swindling blackguard, and you're not the first one to be swindled.
That makes me feel a little better.
Does it?
You ain't the first, but hopefully you'll be the last, baby.
What do you mean?
After Squirrel got the lowdown from those other customers of hers, I went to see your friend Jessica the psychic, and I explained to her, with no explicit threat of violence, that the jig was up. She needed to drop the phony psychic routine, and she owed you a full refund.
You got my money back?
Yeah, kind of a good news, bad news situation there, baby. I got your $100 back, but I will be keeping it as my fee for working this case.
What?
That's the friend price, baby.
Jessica would have at least given me 50 back eventually. Now what have I got?
You've got confirmation of the truth that she isn't a psychic. You've got the assurance that you're no longer being taken advantage of. And she's not going to be taking advantage of anyone else in the future. So you've also got the satisfaction of doing the right thing.
Ugh. Hey folks, hope you liked this video, and now here's Millicent to tell you a thing or two. Millicent?
Greetings, humans! If you enjoyed this video, click like, share the video, and subscribe to this channel. And consider helping us to make more videos by supporting this channel with a monthly donation through Patreon. Go to www.patreon.com/SteveShives to become a patron.
Thank you, Millicent.
You're welcome. I'm curious about something.
What?
How did you meet this unscrupulous Jessica person in the first place?
Oh, well, she was at the same screening of Spider-Man Far From Home that I was at. After the movie, we struck up a conversation on the walk out to the parking lot, and she told me she was a psychic who could predict the plots of movies just from the trailers.
I see. And you didn't think it was unusual that someone whose entire business model was based on predicting the plots of movies they hadn't seen was at a movie theater watching a movie?
Oh man, I can't believe I didn't put that together before.
I can.